Alright, this might be, in recent history, in a long history, the latest I have recorded a Final Fantasy XIV video. We're at 6:15 p.m. and the quest is called Follow, Wander, Stumble, Listen, given to us by Hythlodaeus. This is still continuing the storyline. We are still on that northeast platform, the southeast portion of it, and here we go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Meteion renders herself invisible by matching her etheric density to that of her surroundings, does she not? If so, could we not then disrupt her concealment with a surfeit of ether? How much Emet Selk solidified much how Emet Selk solidified your presence when first we met you? Don't be absurd. I can hardly channel ether to a recipient whose whereabouts are hidden from me. Which is why we must all work together. Mercy will continue the search in the same manner as before, but this time with you in tow. Once she ascertains Meteion's likely location, you proceed to reveal our wayward familiar with a swift ethereal downpour. Very clever, and thankfully she has made herself easier to capture by fleeing towards Leith. Lethe. Leith? Assuming she is made visible, it would prove no great feat to herd her into a corner. Then we have our plan. Mercy and Emet Selk will be our tracker and trapper respectively, while we others protect and obstruct Meteion's avenues of escape. Emet Selk and I will keep an eye on each other's ether to help coordinate our efforts. Let us be about it. Well, it seems we are partners for the time being. Let us return to where we last saw Meteion and pick up the trail from there. I will keep myself in a state of preparedness, ready to rain down ether at a moment's notice, meaning it falls to you to keep the way clear. Emet Selk is accompanying me, and then all the rules of normal, accompaniment apply. We have our red circle to the east, a little bit south, but mostly east. We have it looks like a shallow lake. Oh, this would be so fun in real life. It's like, salt flats, like what, sand dunes? You're like, basically, a lake. I think it would still be called a lake, but like the water is so shallow, like any point in the lake, at most you'll be up to your waist in water. That would be so glorious to visit. I think like the salt flats, that really salty lake. I can't remember what it's called right now. It's not Salt Lake. It's the Dead Sea. I don't know how shallow that is actually. I just know you can float because the salt content is high enough to create a high enough density. But anyway, there are docks or pathways of wood, whatever you want to call it, that are just going from one side of the lake to the other, and some little offshoots and such. Listening at one spot. I do not hear her voice. Nothing this way. We try another route then. Okay. Also, we're kind of going back the way we came a little bit. So we think she didn't actually go out over the lake. Alright. So kind of going back the way we came a little, but probably, yeah, I was going to say south is probably the way to go. We find a disturbance in some grass near a couple trees. Calm my mind and listen. Free your mind and listen for Meteion. Why can't I fly? Are my functions being restricted? Hide. Yes, I'll just have to hide, then, where no one can find me. Her anguished voice leads us to the water's edge. She went into the lake, as if this wasn't tiresome enough. Well, at least that open expanse should make her easier to find. We won't lose her this time. I go southeast. What's this? It's a little speech bubble. We could have a talksy too with Mr. Emet. Discuss the water's edge. There's like a little waterfall, like 7 feet. It's pretty. We should be able to reach the bottom of this drop by climbing down the rocks at the water's edge. Do not even think of dragging me over the falls. Final days or no, if I end up drenched from head to toe, I swear I will feed you to a remora. Can I go over the falls, though? Please and pretty please? You're so boring. There are, indeed, floating remoras. And then to the southeast, in this walkable lake, we see a disturbance on some rocks poking out. Flat rocks poking out. And a cutscene. We're surveying. Listening. We have one of those trees that the roots prop the trunk up by like a good 6 or 7 feet. So you have like roots acting as fingers poking into the ground underneath and like just making a cage of roots more or less, so the trunk then sits on top of and goes up. Not here. I'm not here. Please. We hear her. We're looking. We point. By that rock, is she? Very well. And he snaps his fingers and sends a bunch of ether her way. What? Why can't I hide? She becomes visible, obviously, at that. My options are there's no need to run, Meteion, or we will hear your report, good or bad. There's no need to run, Meteion. Mercy, what are you saying? Everything is so faint. I'm sorry, I'm not strong enough. Stay away, I'm begging you. Don't make me say it. It'll break him. His poor, fragile heart. Have the other Metia run into something bad? Now we have a chance. Once the others are in position, the two of us can herd her into their midst. She went running off before Emet said that. Yeah, like what happened? Are her sisters, have they been destroyed in their travels and searchings? Have they been taken over by something really, really bad? Have they just seen, heard, gathered information that's just like, oh no, this is so bad. Like, what could break Hermes? And then I guess that also leads to the question: is it going to turn out to be Hermes' fault, like this whole end of days stuff, or whatever? But we have another speech circle, as having somebody follow you will tend to do occasionally. So we'll do that first because it's part of the fun. Discuss the Naeus. Is this Naeus not in use? It seems to have been left to the mercy of the elements. Either way, it bears no trace of Meteion's essence. We move on. Okay, we have a disturbance right here. I think it's not going to be the one because it's so close to the chat circle, but mostly. Oh, cutscene. Sometimes I'm wrong, often I'm wrong. There, I see her. By the broken down conveyance device. She's running. So we will follow her path. We're following an actual, like, game trail kind of path, like a more dirt path than the surrounding grass around it. Trampled more often, etc. We go back by the lake, kind of where we first start. Like, we've done a lap around this lake. And we've gone through it as well, obviously. But surveying. Oh, cutscene, just this headshot stuff is getting annoying, but whatever. I don't actually care if my free company's chat can be seen, but maybe they would, so whatever. It's not like they say anything incriminating. They're not talking about anything adult or whatever. But Meteion is running along those wooden pathways floating on the lake.
Aha!
There's a gazebo.
Give chase. We shall herd her into the shelter.
Okay. So we're gonna try to like four corners her, and he summons like a unicorn armored horse thing. We focus in on Meteion running. He blocks her path away from the lake. I come up right behind her. She has another pathway that seems is gonna be blocked. No, she's going to the structure that he wanted to funnel her to. But is this Venat, Hermes? Who walks? Oh, all three of them.
Please, Meteion. We must speak.
We got the cutie. What does she not want to be heard? Her eyes.
I'm sorry, Hermes. I'm so sorry.
Her eyes water, or begin to water before this.
If someone can hear these words, then please.
She turns to me, opens her watery eyes.
Protect them. Protect them all.
Protect them all. What is she talking about? Her sisters?
Individual self-suspended. Connection with shared consciousness stable.
People in general?
Our survey is complete. We shall now report our findings. All units safely arrived at their respective destinations. Seeking answers to Hermes' question, we attempted to make contact with the intelligent denizens of each star. Results are as follows, in order of numerical code. Enna. Traces of civilization found. Structures believed to have served as domiciles. No extant life forms detected.
Give me just a second here. Okay.
Dio. Ruined remnants of buildings scattered across star, surface of which is encased in ice. Presence of life could not be verified.
Ouch.
Tria. Evidence of large population centers, akin to cities recovered. No extant life forms found. Only their lingering essence.
Not looking great so far.
Tessera. Edifices surmised to be abandoned residences found. No extant life forms detected. Deadly plague or extreme environmental degradation likely to have led to mass extinction.
So it seems so far every planet or star, kind of call the same thing in a lot of circles. Life has started, and then something has gone so horribly wrong on each of these planets that no more life survived.
They are all dead.
But I don't remember, did these people seed those planets and stars with life? Or they just went in search of life?
Octo. Star found in state of violent conflict. Contact successfully made with inhabitants, but deployment of weapons of mass destruction resulted in total annihilation of local population shortly thereafter. Inea. Star is a barren desert. No identifiable flora found. Bones of living beings resembling men discovered beneath sands. but determination regarding their intelligence inconclusive.
So maybe that planet didn't get too far in their evolution.
Remind me, Hermes, what exactly was the question you entrusted to Meteion?
Yeah, so far this doesn't seem too bad. You went in search of other life. You found, so far, 6 planets where it just didn't... It started, but didn't prosper.
I tasked her with asking what others live for. What gives their lives meaning.
Oh. Who cares, dude? Just life can be meaning in and of itself. Just being alive and enjoying it. You don't need a deeper meaning.
Did you consider what may happen if the premise of the question is flawed?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to answer it, one must be living and desire to continue doing so. But if Meteion finds no living beings in the course of her journey,
Which she did, though. And then they died.
or none who desire to live, what then?
Well, okay, so that one planet that had a conflict ongoing when that one Metea encountered and spoke with them, you can't say that there weren't beings on that planet with intelligence that wanted to live, that just happened to be destroyed by stupider beings with access to world destructive explosives, so to speak.
What answers would she derive from their silence?
Meteion, enough! Suspend your mission and return hither at once.
Decapente. Local civilization once flourished under auspices of higher power. Said power later laid waste to civilization in fit of rage.
So, okay, there was a civilization. What does she mean by higher power? They flourished under the auspices of a higher power, and then, like a god? And the god got rageful toward them and destroyed them? Is that what that means?
Upon revealing this to me, entity elected to self-terminate in lieu of providing answer to question. No other intelligent life forms found.
Turning a deaf ear, are we? We are taking Meteion back to Amarot. As I understand, we will need her if we are to bring back all of her sisters.
Except for the one that self-terminated, I guess.
Yes.
Hermes moves in front of Meteion and kneels. Meteion. She's still staring blankly, as if she's been fully taken over by the consciousness. With a flash of white.
It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer. Even if the answer is pain.
Yes, we have a little flashback moment of Meteion's smiling, happy face with her hands clasped in front of her. And then flash white again to another
Even if
memory.
we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard.
Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves. I think that's a flash to like them having to kill some of his creations. She's still staring blankly. He smiles.
Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
So she's worried that in all of her sister's exploration, they only found civilizations that just died from one way or another. And that's going to bring Hermes to, like, think, what's the point of it all? He summons a staff, does a ritual, a flash of white, and he's... What? How do I even describe?
What is the meaning of this?
He kind of looks a little bit like Ramu. Like he is probably got about 4 to 5 times taller. He's got like whitish robes, a piece of headgear that kind of looks like a pirate hat in some ways, but also, and then he's got like these, I don't know what they're made of, but these lines that could be like bars of metal that are kind of crissing and crossing and forming patterns kind of around his body, and I don't know.
You cannot take Meteion. Not until she has finished her report.
Actually, what I thought were robes seem to be like wrapped mummy kind of bandages, which expose dark gray flesh of some kind, and I don't know.
All else must wait.
He raises the staff into the air, and there's this blast of wind energy, and I guess he's disappeared. He's flown away. We can see him flying away. He does have kind of robes. He's carrying Meteion.
You fool!
Fly, you fool. The cutscene seems to be ending. And we will turn this quest into Emet Selk. Why, Hermes? Why could you not leave well enough alone? Will these answers assuage the pain you feel when a creation is returned to Aether? Had you never cast your accursed question to the distant stars, you may have one day learned to be at peace upon this one. Follow, wander, stumble, listen is complete. This quest and video are both complete. I've hit level 90 on my Dragoon. Let's see what I've learned. Okay. We've learned Wormwind Thrust, which First Mind's focus cost of 2. What the frick is First Mind's? Okay. 10-second cooldown, 15-foot range, 15 yalm range and radius. Delivers an attack to all enemies in a straight line before you with a potency of 420 for the first and 50% for okay. The Dragoon gauge has expanded. So using Raiden Thrust or Draconian Fury, what are those? Okay, I have High Jump, True Thrust, Vorpal Thrust, Disembowel, Heaven's Thrust, Chaotic Spring, Fang and Claw. Wheeling Thrust. Hold on. I feel like I have Raiden Thrust, and I don't know where it is. Wait, I just saw Draconian. Okay, hold on. Draconian Fury. Is that a Mirage Dive thing? Oh man, I'm gonna have to look at a level 90 rotation because I don't see Raiden Thrust, but I feel like I have it. I just don't know why I think I have it. Oh wait. True Thrust or Raiden Thrust. I don't have it yet? Maybe Raiden Thrust. Oh, Raiden Thrust could be the thing that replaces True Thrust when I have completed my 4-step. So if I go True, Vorpal, Heavens, Fang and Claw, Wheeling Thrust, because they kind of go back and forth with each other, and then back to what I think would be turned into Raiden Thrust. Am I right here? I want roll, I want, let's see. Rise of the Dragon, level 92. Where'd Raiden Thrust? Alright, I'll figure it out. But anyway, got that. Did I get a trait too, level 90? Lance Mastery 3 increases the potency of Gear Skugel to 280 and Nastron to 720. Allows for the sharpening of the first mind's focus upon successfully letting Raiden Thrust up to maximum 2. Okay. Cool. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.